What's going on, people? It's your boy Tony Guns, back at y'all again with Black Ops Band Dog TV. Where the first order of business is and always is building leaders and creating kings operations by building national development over generations. And what I want to talk to y'all about, something brief, something real quick. Is 48 laws. I always talk about the 48 laws of power and how powerful it is if, you truly study it and put those things into practice. Today I want to come to y'all with Law 9. Law 9. And Law 9 simply says, win through your actions, never through argument. Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. And what's a Pyrrhic victory? A Pyrrhic victory is a victory offset. You may win, but the victory is offset by the staggering losses, by the number of losses that you had to take just to get to that win. Now, what is meant by, in this phrase, when they say, any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory, meaning you may feel like in that argument you won. Now, there are arenas, debates that have to be had in certain arenas and things of that nature but for the most part, we talking real live arguments that really can be avoided. One is a thing of emotional intelligence, but what's meant in there is you sitting and arguing back and forth, even if you made the most sense and you feel as if you won. The time wasted, energy and effort put into that argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. Is what's meant. You may have won the battle, you may have won that little, the catty back and forth, but you lost by sitting there having to put your time, energy, and effort into it. I have family members that get into it oftentimes and they want to be right so bad. Oftentimes, me and myself and my wife may get into it and I want to be right so bad or she want to be right so bad, but then you sit there, sometimes it comes to sweating. Take too much time, energy, and effort. It's a lot easier to not do it. But nothing makes me more angry than seeing it amongst men. Two men sitting there literally arguing, at times to the top of their lungs, sitting there arguing like women, like catty little girls, schoolgirls. We know where it could possibly lead. We're violent. Men, we're violent by nature. We know where it can possibly lead. But really, that argument really don't even want it to lead there. Really don't. You really don't want to take it there. That's the point of the argument. You just want to win the argument. You just don't want to seem as if you back down. But it's a facade. All you really are is that dog at the gate, barking. See, the reason that dog is barking is to send a warning. Don't come in here. But what he's really saying is, please don't come in here. Because see, oftentimes those same dogs that just at the gate just barking, oftentimes if you have the heart, you open that gate, they'll sit there doing the same thing, just barking, making a whole lot of noise. Oftentimes those dogs that bark the loudest are really the weakest. They really just asking you, please don't bother me. Please don't bother me. What you ought to be wary of, though, is that snarl, and that deep growl. That deep growl. But see, that's a dog. That's a dog almost daring you. I dare you come in here. As a matter of fact, I want you to. I can't wait. That's a dog that's sitting and waiting for the moment to strike. That's a dog that's sitting and waiting for that moment to strike. That's power. That's strength. That's conviction. That's a dog that is secure within himself. That's a man that's secure within himself. See, oftentimes, those arguments that we allow ourselves to have come from insecure places. It's learned behavior. that we get from other insecure people in our lives that were expected to be the individuals that teach us a better course of action. Our parents, mothers, fathers, grandparents, older siblings, older cousins, family members, those that were responsible with the care and responsibility of raising us up, are to blame for a lot of those insecurities. But as you grow into a man, you should be able to figure out what it is to be a man, how a man conducts himself, what a man will and will not do, especially in an argument. The unnecessary reason for arguments. And again, there's a time and place for everything. You know, there's certain times and certain situations you have to give that. You have to speak. Sometimes you have to talk your way out of things. But talking and arguing is totally different. Always say less than necessary. Demonstrate. Do what needs to be done. If you're sitting there for whatever reason, regardless of what the argument is, if I could show you what I mean, show you that if I truly believe that I'm right, if I can show you that I'm right, is that not much more powerful than me trying to explain to you how right I am? And then you take the time to contemplate, is it even worth? If whatever it is that I'm trying to get you to understand, whatever it is that I'm trying to get you to see, is it even worth the time? Is it even worth it? Are you worthy of it? Fellas, at a distance, when we see two men arguing, at a distance, you can't tell who's the fool and who's not. You look the same. But see, we do it, you know, if we got a crowd around, you know, you want to win that argument because you don't want to look foolish. You know, you may have a woman around. You want to make it seem like you're smart, you're intelligent. So you start posturing. What better way to posture than to, you know, utilize your words? Some people are very charismatic, so they know how to use their words to talk them way in and out of anything. It's worked for them. But then you have somebody that won't back down, maybe two alphas. And they go back and forth. But just because you're an alpha doesn't mean that you aren't foolish. Shit, quite oftentimes those alpha personalities get you in a lot of trouble. Get you out of a lot of it too, depending on its utility, how you're using it, the manner in which you use it. But then you have those sigma qualities, those sigma males. Those sigma males that really can care less about the way somebody view them, the way somebody see them, trying to fit in to societal norms, trying to impress with words. Quite often, the sigma male is that man that really have little to nothing to say at all. Sigma male is oftentimes a man of action. A man that not only a man of action, but individuals that oftentimes move by themselves. They move and maneuver within their own world, in their own mind, in their own consciousness. They do as they please. Sigma male has all the qualities of the alpha male, with little to none of the insecurities that the alpha male has. A sigma male knows how to utilize that LAW9, how to win through his actions, because alphas have to be reinsured by the pack. Their status has to be reinsured by the pack, whereas the sigma male, he's good in and or outside of the pack. As a matter of fact, he would much rather step outside of the pack. He loves being in the pack. Don't get that misconstrued. But a small pack, small circle of individuals that he can trust, that he can rely on. But oftentimes you'll notice that he'll step outside of that pack to go do his own thing because he's most comfortable with doing his own thing. steps out of the pack, and then oftentimes when he comes back with something of utility for the entire pack. There's no need to butt heads with the alpha male. For what? Why do you need to butt heads with you for? We sit here wasting time arguing on the best hunting grounds. When I let you snarl and growl and fight amongst each other. And I leave and come back. With a full belly and a clear path to what I already know to be fruitful hunting ground. Now the question is, what is it for us to argue about? What is it for us to argue about? Do man shit, live strong or die weak, ain't no pressure. Remember, Law 9 of the 48 Laws of Power. Win through your actions, never through argument. Demonstrate, don't explicate. Black Ops Band Dog TV. Until then.